Welcome to Explicit Instruction in Anna's Home. Today we will be dividing fractions. Our lesson will consist of 5 parts. In the first part we will analyze the steps that we need to divide the fractions. In the second part is called I do. I will explain you what we're gonna do right there, and then the third part will be called we do. And then the next one is you do, you check, and you do, I check. So first we're gonna name the steps which are needed to divide the fractions. So the first step is keep the first fraction the same. Change the second one, change the sign to multiply. Third one, flip the second fraction. Fourth one, multiply straight across. And 5, reduce. All these steps you have on your worksheets, so you can go ahead and use them when you solve the problems. But first I'm going to model what you have to do. What you have to do right now as students, you have to just look at me, watch me how I am dividing the fractions with the pencils down and with eyes up on me. I'm going to be asking myself questions and I will be answering them. You don't have to answer any questions right now, you just have to watch me. So I have a division problem in front of me. 2/4 divided by 5/3. So I have to go step by step. Step number 1, keep the first fraction the same. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep the first fraction the same. The second one says change the sign to multiply. So I'm going to write multiply instead of divide. Oh man, I forgot what's my third step. Oh, now I remember. Miss Lazos told me where the steps are. So I'm looking right there where she said the steps are. The third step is flip the second fraction. Okay, now I know what to do. I have to flip the second fraction. Instead of 5/3, I'm going to write down 3/5. What's the next step? Multiply straight across. 2 times 3 and 4 times 5. 2 times 3 is 6. I can use my calculator if I want to. 4 times 5 is 20. 6/20 can be reduced by 2, right? So 3/10 is our answer. Depending on the level of the kid, by the way, I would ask some kids to reduce the fraction or just leave it the way it is. So the next part is called we do. So I'm going to be expecting the answers from the students. I'll be asking the questions and then they would have to answer. So we have a division problem in front of us again. It's 7/4 divided by 2/5. So what would be the first step? Keep the first fraction the same. Okay, yes, we keep the first fraction the same. What's our next step? Change the sign to multiply. Okay, we're going to change the sign to multiply. What's the third step? Does anybody know what's the third step? Can we read what the third step is? Yes, okay, yes we can. Flip the second fraction, sure. Flip the second fraction. How do we do that? We have 2/5. Now we have 5/2. What's the next step? Multiply straight across. Yes, we're going to multiply straight across. Everyone take out your calculators and calculate. What's 7 times 5 and what's 4 times 2? 7 times 5, what's the answer? 35. Great, 35 is the right answer. 4 times 2? Is it 6? Does anyone else get 6? No, 8. Okay, 8. Did anyone else get an 8? 8. Okay, so it's an 8. So 35 over 8. Can we reduce this fraction? Can we divide it by 2, by 4, by 3, by 5? To make this short, I will say that this cannot be reduced. Okay, we cannot reduce it. So depending on the level of the kid, I would ask to transfer it, like change it to improper fraction. All right, now the part number 3. You do, you check. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna do the work on the board, and you're gonna do the work all by yourselves. When you're done with your work, you can check with my work. So you do the work, I do the work. You check your work with my work. If it's right, then you can do the next one, which is the next part. It's called you do, I check. You do it and I will check. And you literally will get a check mark for each problem you solve in this part. But let's do it next, but this way. But right now I'm gonna solve this, and then you're gonna solve this in your notes, and you're gonna just check for the answer. Okay, so I'm doing this all by myself, and you do it all by yourself. So depending on the level of the kid, I would accept this as an answer, this is an answer, or this is an answer. Okay, so once I'm done with this, then I would be the kind of walking around and looking how are the kids doing with their problem. If somebody needs help, I refer them to the steps. If they're done with this, I tell them to do this one. And then I check their answers, and each right answer gets a tick mark. Okay, and that's how I would do my lesson. That's how I would teach dividing fraction in the classroom. It's the kind of different now because I'm in my house. I'm on maternity leave, so I cannot do it in the classroom. But I hopefully you got the picture how I would teach this kind of lesson.